Arsenal 2, Brighton and Hove Albion nil. And that's a good result for us. How many games is that now that we've gone in a clean sheet? I don't even know. We've had a clean sheet all of October in all competitions. Think about that for a second. That's how good our defence is, even when our B team's playing. Now, to be fair, Brighton didn't put out their full team either. But I do say that even if they don't do that, this Brighton team, they're still good enough to win it against us. And even in the first half, the way I look at it, that first half, they could have won it. It was more or less their game in the first half. But the second half, on the other hand, it was all us. The moment we put the second goal to bed, that's when the game kind of ended for me. Although you could also argue that when Mikel Arteta brought on Timber and Gabriel, you could argue that that's when the game was over. Because let's be honest, I'm pretty sure we were only 1-0 up. But at 2-0 to me, you don't come back for that when you play against Timber, when you play against Mosquera, when you play against Gabriel, when you play against Miles Lewis-Kelly. You don't come back from a 2-0. Now, it was good as well to see players that don't often get a chance to play, the majority of them playing. Obviously, Kepa, Lewis-Kelly, Max Dowman, Harryman. I didn't even know who he was until this game. But I thought Harryman had a decent game. Nothing crazy stand out, but he had a decent game. And seeing youngsters get results like this, it's really good. But I'm especially impressed by Max Dowman. And I think, to me, Max Dowman was just head and shoulders over everyone today. And I mean everyone. But look, I've just taken a look at our next match. It is Crystal Palace, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on, Arsenal Carabao Cup. We have got Crystal Palace, yeah. And that's not really a team we want to get. I would have taken most teams over it. I think the only two teams I would really hesitate to take over Crystal Palace are Newcastle and City. I would have realistically taken anyone else over Palace. But I suppose that's a big compliment to Palace in a way. I think Crystal Palace are a good side. They're the kind of team that can take it from you even when you don't expect it. So if we go into that and we beat Palace, that's one big competitor out the way for us at least as we're going into the semi-finals. Now, back to Brighton, as I was saying, Brighton first half, I could see they were winning the ball quite a lot in the midfield area, and they were holding on to that very high press kind of play. Whenever we got the ball, even if it was just right outside our own penalty box, they would always pressure our players. And it was working for a long while. That first half, they could have got 2 or 3 goals. And we did make some needless mistakes. But in the end of the day, we didn't concede from them. I'm not going to complain about that. I would have only have been disappointed if we lost at this stage. But now, I think we've reached the stage where it's all or nothing. You go in for it now. We're in the quarterfinals against Crystal Palace. If we can beat Crystal Palace, we're in the semis. I think now we have to just play for it. And we will probably put our whole team out. Or at the very least, the majority of them. But I'm going to go in now to the player ratings. And starting off in goal is going to be Kepa. Now, Kepa, I don't think he made any mistakes today. At least not as far as I remember. He did make a few crucial saves, especially in the first half. And he did keep us in the game. But overall, we didn't have a lot of questions to really ask from him. Kepa, I'm going to give him a 7. Ben White. Now, Ben White, I thought he was looking quite good going forward. He was one of our better overall players going forward. And seeing him pair up with Max Dowman, that's a sight to see. But Ben White, overall, I appreciate how he brings an attacking quality to our defence as well. And he did. He absolutely did. Ben White, I'm also going to give a 7. Mosquera, I think he made a mistake or two, but I'm not going to hold it on his head forever. Um, yeah, he did make a lot of vital interceptions, a lot of vital tackles in that game as well. And I think the good outweighs the bad in this game. I think with Mosquera, still a lot to learn, but he is learning, and he is so promising. Um, I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna say 7.5. Hincapié, I think he also had his share of mistakes and good moments as well. But I think both of those were a bit fewer in comparison to Mosquera. Overall, he looks like a solid player. I haven't really had a chance to really see him, but he does overall look like a solid player to have in our defence. Hincapié, I'm giving a 7 as well. Lewis Skelly, I thought he had a decent game today, if I'm honest. Um, didn't let a lot get past him, and even when it did, it ended up resulting in nothing. But that's just because of how good our defense is, even our B team defense. And I did like his running as well. I did like his running. I love his holding onto the ball. I love how he doesn't let anyone get past him. And I'm going to give him a 7.5. Norgard, very up and down, I think. Could have been better. I think out of all the players, he was the one that was losing the ball the most. And I don't know if that's just the fact that he's older in age, or maybe he's just a bit out of it because he isn't getting regular game time. But he is overall, today at least, I thought he was average, 6.5. Ethan Wanyeri, he got the crucial goal in the end, and what a well worked goal it was as well, and not just well worked from him, but well worked from the whole team. And that crucial goal, of course, we did get another goal after that, but that was the goal that set everything in motion for me. After that, I just didn't feel concerned whatsoever. Ethan Wanyeri, I'm going to give an 8. Mikel Mourinho. Now, Mikel Mourinho, very similar to Norgard. Oh, sorry, not Norgard. Very similar to our defenders. Had a fair few ups and downs, but again, I think the ups outweighed the downs in this. I thought in general he was quite good at pacing forward. He was quite good at passing along the ball. Other than that, there's not really much I can really think of. Mikel Mourinho, I'm going to give a 7. Max Dowman, this boy, Max Dowman, he was causing absolute nightmares for that left back. I swear, did he ever get caught on the ball? Because I don't even recall anymore. It feels like he won every single one of his one-on-ones. And even when it was 2-on-2, he still found ways around them. But that creativity, that technical gift that he has, I absolutely adore it. Max Dowman, for a 15-year-old, this kid's going to go far. And seeing Max Dowman in a squad with Bukayo Saka, that is exciting. That is the kind of youngster that you want to have in your team. And absolutely everyone wants Max Dowman. Everyone. Max Dowman gets an 8.5, and he is my personal man of the match. Eberechi Eze, very up and down again. I did expect a bit more from Eze overall. He does seem to be a bit in and out of it. But it's another very average game for him, if I'm being honest. I just don't think he's I think he still has a bit of adapting to do to the overall squad and the overall fact that he's not in the same kind of system as he was at Crystal Palace. But still, for today, 6.5. Harryman, for a youngster who I never really paid any attention to come on and actually put in a half decent performance, didn't get a goal, but still put on a decent performance. Quite impressive, and I think just for that, I'm gonna give him a 7. Now referee, I thought the referee we could have had a penalty. It looked like a penalty to me in the first half. It really did. I'm only not really angry about it now because we got the result in the end. But still, referee, I'm just going to give him an average of. I'll give him 7. I didn't think it was horrible, but I think he could have done better. And I'll also say that for both sides as well. I do think Brighton got some very harsh calls in that game. Mikel Arteta. Now, Mikel Arteta, most of the substitutions he made sense to me, except for one, and that was taking Max Dowman off for Bukayo Saka. I don't really understand that one. I thought Max Dowman was the best player on the pitch by far, and it wasn't even close on either side. But Bukayo Saka, he did get the goal in the end, to be absolutely fair to him. And so because of that, I'm going to give Mikel Arteta a... do I give him a 7 or an 8? I'll be nice, I'll give him an 8, because it worked out in the end. The fans weren't crazy loud. I thought they were actually quite quiet for the most part. And especially after 2-0, I'm pretty sure they all knew it was game over from there. We already had a strong defense lined up. We already 2-0 up. At that point, it's just game over. But the fans themselves, quite average, 7. But anyways, that's my match review. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will be seeing you for the match preview for Burnley versus Arsenal. I'll be seeing you then. Goodbye.